people would talk about, the joy of the Lord, the joy of their salvation, and, it's like, okay, yeah, but I don't really get it. I made a profession of faith when I was 5 years old, and what I understood at that point was that if I wanted to go to heaven when I died, I needed to ask Jesus in my heart, and I did that. Every once in a while, I would have questions as to my eternal security, if I was going to go to heaven or not. I remember going on trips in the car and thinking, is this the time we're going to have an accident and I'm going to die and I'll know for sure if I'm going to heaven or not? I would go to bed at night and think, okay, am I going to die in my sleep and find out if this is the time? And I would pray the prayer, Jesus, if I'm not saved, then save me. And I would also pray that God would give me a peace, that I was His child. I remember one Sunday morning, the invitation in the balcony, standing there, and this whole argument is going on in my head. It was like the Holy Spirit told me that I was not saved. And I thought, I'm not saved? Okay, yes I am. I'm saved. I'm okay. But a few years ago, the doubts would come more often. And about 3 years ago, the doubts were just overwhelming. I just had that struggle of whether or not I was truly saved. And, I hear people talk about the peace that passes understanding. And I would think, yeah, okay, I've got that. And I would hear people talk about the joy of their salvation, and I thought, yeah, okay, I've got that. But in April of 2006, we were getting ready to go on a mission trip to Africa. And we had a meeting, and I remember Lisa Wilson saying, not everybody's going to have to give their testimony, but everybody should be able to. And I thought, okay, what do I have? I have a profession of faith as a child and lots of doubts. That night at the invitation, it was like God turned my body to the aisle and said, you've got to take care of this now. So I took Bruce forward with me, and I told him, I said, I just don't know if I'm saved. I said, I keep praying for peace and praying for peace and praying for peace. And Bruce asked me a simple question. He said, and has He given it to you? And that was the first time I knew that I was lost. I did not have that peace. God would not withhold that peace from me as a child, because that would be mean, and our God is not a mean God. He's a kind God and a loving God. And I told Him I was sorry and asked Him to save me. And I went and talked to Pastor after and told him what had happened, and he said, do you feel like you've got it taken care of? And I said, yeah. But I didn't feel any different. I didn't have the weight taken off my shoulders like people talk about. But the next day when I got in the car, I started thinking about eternity. And I just feel a calm come over me from head to toe. And it's just the Holy Spirit coming and covering me with that peace, filling me with that peace that does pass all understanding. And it's amazing. And every time since then that I think about eternity, I just have that calm peace, and I still feel it from head to toe. The Holy Spirit has helped me learn to love God, serve people, and reach the world. I am Vicki, and I am High Street.